main event, and I'll be honest, whenever the match was booked, I had really high hopes for it, and then when I saw FTR and the Briscoes go to hell earlier, they just went to war, and the Briscoes bleeding all over the place, taking huge bumps. I was like, they ain't gonna do much in this match, and and it wasn't a bad match, but not a lot. They kept it all in the ring. They didn't take any crazy bumps. Um, they the Good Brothers ended up winning with the Magic Killer with help from Jay White, who interfered in the match while the referee was distracted by Chris Bay. And then they ended the show abruptly because I think they were up against the clock. They were running out of time, man. So, what did you think of the main event?
Um, it was fine. Again, it went a little fast. The problem was they had a match of the year
Yeah,
like 2 hours before. Like
yeah,
I just saw these guys have what literally could be the best tag team match in the United States this year. God, it was good. So, and you weren't going to get that out of the Good Brothers. It's just
no,
not what those guys are,
no.
right? And again, the Good Brothers matches didn't have the stakes, right?
Mm-mm.
That the other one did. And then I kept thinking, like, I know people like, oh, I think we'll have a disagreement on this debate, we'll call it.
Okay.
I I don't it did not feel like the if this felt more like the Briscoes came into a cup of coffee for Impact more than it felt to me like a bookend for them in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I think they had a bookend in Ring of Honor, and I thought they were over. FTR beat them, and then as they were leaving, the Young Bucks attacked them, and then FTR comes out for the save and cut the promo while the Briscoes did nothing in return to the Young Bucks. They just escaped out of the side of the ring and just left, right? So that just made it seem to me like they were not trying to harp on the Briscoes getting their farewell. What they wanted to harp on was this coming up Wednesday Night Dynamite. So it made it just seem to me like they were just, writing the Briscoes off. You guys go get out of here. We're gonna focus on our guys. That's what it seemed like to me.
See, I disagree completely because I think
Okay.
if they write them off completely, you don't do the angle with the Young Bucks.
I think they were just doing that as a distraction to get all the attention away from the Briscoes because of the
All the
reason why they're
Briscoes
not
have
being
to.
signed.
That's why they just have to roll out of the ring at that point. Then and you
Yeah.
cut to a video package or something else to
Yeah.
say, yeah. I mean, I personally, I think that Briscoes show up on Dynamite on Wednesday during
I
that match with FTR and the Bucks
brace for debate. I completely disagree, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're right. I hope the Briscoes do go to AEW.
because it didn't seem like it does not feel like the Briscoes are clearly they're smart dudes, right?
Yeah.
Despite evidence to the contrary,
Yeah.
they are
Yeah.
smart guys. Like they they have not been invested in this Impact match, right? Their
Yeah.
attention has been toward the FTR match. They were trying to clear their like Jay's still trying to clear himself because he feels it seems to me like they want that Warner Media contract,
Yeah.
right? It seems to me they think that they're in a better spot if they can land in AEW or whatever Ring of Honor is going to be. And I just felt like the audition to me. It felt like they were auditioning. Will you guys do business? And they did. And it just didn't. Again, they left so much of themselves out there. There really wasn't a lot left. Whereas they come to New Japan, they come here at New Japan. It felt like a New Japan match with Jay White out there,
Yeah.
who should have won to look a little bit stronger. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. Like, it didn't. It felt more like just a thing with them there. It felt like they were written off a little bit way more to me here than it did in the Supercard show.
Yeah. I hope they get picked up somewhere. And I hope it's
Me
with
too.
the ROH AEW contingent. I just don't see it happening. And
I don't know.
I know Impact would take them, but I think that Briscoes have probably just been holding out hope that they're going to get that Warner Media deal. So
I think you're right because I think they would have been in Impact by now. Like
yeah.
it's interesting. You read the thing that Jordan Grace put on her Twitter where like she was saying, "Oh, I was trying to get Jonathan Gresham to sign other contracts." Oh, I wonder where.
Right.
Like I wonder where she's trying to get him to sign. And he was like, "Nope, nope, gonna make this work. Gonna make this work." And it seems to me that the Briscoes may have been doing the same thing because I'm sure that Tony Khan would like to have the Briscoes. Who wouldn't? They're
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like they looked so damn good tonight in both matches. They looked good. They
Yeah.
just looked less tired. in the first match,
they
which,
left it all
reasons.
out there at
They did.
Supercard. They did, man, and God bless them for it. That was an incredible match. I can't be mad at it. And Impact put them in the main event not because they deserve the main event slot. Not that they don't, but
Give them time
to
to
give
get
them
there.
time to rest, to give them
Hmm.
time to get there, to rest, to let their body heal a little bit because they like I said, they gave everything that they had in that FTR match. And with
Did you watch the GCW stuff? Has it? They know they were defending against Second Gear Crew. Has it happened already? I'm not. I don't watch GCW, so.
I don't really pay too much attention to
I don't know either.
GCW. Not unless like it's like a big match. Like I think the last GCW match I watched was I watched some of the Hammerstein stuff and that was it.
Okay.
So that was the last time I checked out their stuff.
I know they have a match with Second Gear guys this weekend. I don't know if they've had it, because they lose again. It's going to be a rough weekend for the
Well,
Briscoes.
they just won the GCW tag team titles. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, they
Because
won. Yeah,
they
did they
beat
win them this weekend, or
they
were they
did.
defending them? Okay,
No,
good for them.
they won them. Yeah, yeah. So and they went 0 for 2 tonight in their
They did
matches.
go for two tonight,
Yeah.
but they got paid pretty good. I'm imagining.
Oh, I'm sure they did. I'm
So
sure they did.
good on
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, you aren't going to get a match of the year contender from Gallows and Anderson. It's just not gonna. It's just not
No,
them. Like,
no.
yeah,
Yeah, and I figured they would have like a lot more smoke and mirrors and do like tables and do all kinds of stuff around, but they didn't do none of that. They were like, "Look, you guys got 9 minutes. Briscoes are exhausted, and Good Brothers, you're gonna have to carry them." Oh, us carry? Okay. Uh,
Big LG's like, whoa, whoa.
you mean are we gonna cut the ring off and have Jay Briscoe sell the whole match and have Mark do the hot tag and then we'll take a couple of bumps and send her home, brother. That's what they
That's
did.
that's what happened, and it was fine. There was no
Yeah,
problem. Like, there was
it
no
wasn't a
problems with it.
no.
Like, credit to Mark and Jay for being able to work a a competent 3.5 star match
Yeah,
at like an hour after doing a six. I mean, like, FTR is trying to call himself 6 star FTR, which by the way is a nice ring to it.
hmm
Like, that is I think that's a 5 star match in my opinion. I'm not a match
yeah,
ratings guy, so to do those back to back in the same night, bravo.
yeah. So do they have? So say they get 5 from for
From
the
Dave.
FTR from the FTR for the FTR match.
Mm-hmm.
Dave ain't watching Multiverse. I don't want to be the one to tell. He's not rating this match, but say
Don't
he
kill the gimmick, brother.
yeah. So say they get 5 and then what 3? So do they have 8.5 stars tonight? The Briscoes, is that what we're looking at?
If that was, if it was a lesser team, like if it was just OGK, they would have eight and a
Yeah.
half stars on a t-shirt. If it was the Young
Right.
Bucks, they would have that. The
Yeah.
Briscoes, they don't care.
No, they don't care. No.
Stars and
And
bars on a t-shirt.
there you go.
Hey, y'all, this is Double G from the Fight Game Media Network. I wanted to tell you about our new series of combat sports podcasts on our free and Patreon tiers. Let's talk about all the shows on our free Fight Game Media Network feed. We have The Wrap, hosted by Keela Cash, which covers the week in WWE. The Boom, hosted by James McDaniel and Kevin Eli, on all things AEW wrestling. For MMA fans, we have In the Clinch, hosted by Paul Fontaine and Ryan Frederick. Boxing fans will love Pound for Pound, hosted by Carlos Toro and Robert Silva. Write That Down is our Japanese wrestling history show with Justin Nipper and the legendary Fumi Saito. And finally, our weekend show by John LaRocca called Take It Home. And now let's talk about our Patreon, the newly branded Fight Game Media Network Plus. We have our 1997 Raw review version of the Fight Game podcast, hosted by myself and John LaRocca. Paul Fontaine and Jeff Hawkins host the Dynamite Show, which goes up every Wednesday night after AEW Dynamite is done. On Fridays, we have 2 shows that drop. The first is the full version of Brace for Impact, hosted by Mike Gilbert and JD Oliva, all on Impact Wrestling. That is the full version, which is on the Patreon. They also have a free feed of their Impact Wrestling review portion of the show, and you can find that wherever podcasts are found, searching for Brace for Impact. And lastly, on the Patreon, the 5-star Joshi Show, hosted by Scott Edwards. My video show, Observe This, is on our YouTube channel, but you'll be able to hear the audio version of it on the Patreon. We also have pay-per-view recaps as well as monthly bonus content from every podcast in our free network tier. And lastly, a Q&A with Dave Meltzer. All of that is for $5 a month. You can find all the links of where to hear our shows in the description of this video. Support the Fight Game Media Network by subscribing to our free network and Brace for Impact feeds. And please, please, please rate us 5 stars. And please check out our Patreon as well. Thanks for watching.